Okay, so this video we're now going to take a quick look at the difference between the papillary layer and the reticular layer. And here we're talking about the two layers of the dermis. Just to be clear, we also have the hypodermis, which is down here. Hypodermis is down there, and the epidermis is up here. But here we're talking about the reticular layer and the papillary layer. So first of all, the papillary layer is the one that's closest to the epidermis. That's the one that comes after or deeper to the epidermis. And under the papillary layer is the reticular layer. And here we're now going to talk about a few differences here. The first one is regarding the thickness of these layers. So the reticular layer, as you can see in this little drawing here, the reticular layer is thicker. It's thicker. We can see that. And the reticular layer accounts about 80% of the thickness of the dermis, and about 20% goes to the papillary layer. So most of the dermis is the reticular layer. That's the first point, is the thickness. The second point is as it relates to the collagen fibers that are located in here. And this is very logical. The papillary layer has thin collagen, while the reticular layer has very thick collagen. And that's just logical, because the reticular layer is much thicker. It comprises of most of the dermis, so it's natural that the collagen fibers will be thicker because it's taking up more space, right? So this is the second difference between those. So we have the thickness and we have the collagen fiber. These are the main two differences, and also the location. I can add that on there too. With regard to the location, the papillary layer is the one that's next to or right under the epidermis, and the reticular layer is closer to the hypodermis. That's the other differences there between the two. So we looked at three main differences here: the thickness of each layer of the epidermis, the collagen fiber is thinner in the papillary layer and thick in the reticular layer, and the location of these is the reticular layer is closer to the hypodermis, while the papillary layer is closer to the epidermis.